Okay, Elite Agency Training. We have the lovely Shelly Wade with us today. And by the way, for those of you who don't know who Shelly is the best interviewer in the entire industry.
No
Not
pressure.
joking. She's fantastic. You can't not be happy and smiling around Shelly. So it's a pleasure to have you, Shelly. Thank you for being on. Uh,
Thanks, Brian. I'm so excited to be a part of Elite Agency Training's launch and getting the word out and giving my honest feedback about it all.
Fantastic. Just so y'all know, Shelly works with and slash manages. I'm going to get this wrong. She works with about 60 plus agents, and
Yeah.
she of course she works with other agents in the business, but she directly works with 60 or more agents. And she has said that this training system, Elite Agency Training, has helped and or will help her agents to grow their businesses. So I don't want to put words in her mouth. So Shelly, tell us what you told me a while ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I am so excited about this. This is something from my level, working with so many amazing agents. I'm so lucky to work with all types of agency owners, from protege graduates who are starting a scratch agency to buying an agency, agents that have been in it for 3 years, 5 years, up to 30 plus years in the business. So every single agency is different, but foundationally, they all have the same things, they want the same things. So this platform really, really, really does speak to every single level and every type of agent. For my more tenured agents that may have staff already that need a new kind of training platform, they need something foundational for them to kind of get back into it, whether that's on the marketing side, the sales side, or even just the hiring side, right? Like bringing on new staff, how to compensate them, how to get them started, down to the glossary. Brian, you really did it all. You really covered every single level. It's perfect for no matter what level you're in. And not only does it have the great sales and marketing training and tools, but there's also a separate part of it, which I think is the coolest, which is for the agency owners. So a lot of platforms are really, really great for sales training and coaching and systems and processes there. This one also has that, but also has it for how to think like an agent, elite agent mindset, how to be a business owner, and it's all from your brain, which is my favorite part.
Yeah, as I've said, and I'll say again, I've pretty much downloaded my entire brain about what I know, what I do, how I do it, everything that I've done past 10 years is available to you now on a silver platter to you and your staff, to agents and their staff. So, yeah, thank you for that, Shelly. I wanted to just say that this video is a deep dive into what elite agency training is, and more importantly, what it does and what it will do for agents and staff and agencies. So before we talk about the details of the training system and what it is, it usually helps and makes more sense to start off with why this course was created. I believe the why is more important than the what. And this is something that we train throughout the course, especially in sales, which is to lead with the why, to start with the why. Because if people and prospects don't know why, if they don't know why they want or need something or certain items or coverages, then they're not going to care about the what or what it is they're looking at. So people purchase items for what those items can do for them, not for what it is. The ultimate point and the ultimate goal of elite agency training is to help agents and staff to grow the agency, grow operations, and to make more money, revenue, income, and equity in the business. And in the past, I always thought that the best way to help agents grow was to give leads or provide a lead service to agents. But then I realized over the years that just giving or providing leads or providing more leads to most agents or agencies would be like giving $10,000 to a child or a teenager. I don't mean that rude or offensive, but they don't know what to do with it, or they quickly blow all the money and leads and they'd be right back to where they started. If I were to just provide agents with more leads, many agents, probably most agents, don't have systems or processes in place to effectively work all those leads. They don't have the right staffing and structure to work those leads, or the agents and staff don't know how to work and sell those leads. And agents and staff certainly don't have the right mindset, attitude, and sales skills, including tonality, rapport, techniques, etc. It's the same concept as the parable of, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man a fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Which is more valuable, the fish or the knowledge and skills to know how to fish? Right? There's no question about it. Knowledge of systems, process, and skills is almost infinitely more valuable than anything else agents can give to themselves and to their staff. So let me continue with why, and let me explain my initial reasons why I created this course and how it came to be. I initially created this course for two main reasons. The first main reason is to train my own staff. In my agency, we currently hire anywhere from 3 to 5 new staff members every year. And it's not necessarily because we have a high turnover problem, but because staff will always come and go for whatever reason. And we want to grow our team too. We used to hire even more. We used to hire 7 to 10 new people every year. But we've gotten much better at hiring and better at being selective with new candidates and hiring for what you cannot train, which is another concept we teach in the course, in the staffing course. But regardless, in order to continue to grow our team, even to continue to maintain our current number of staff, we must continuously hire new staff. We must always be hiring. Another thing we train. But probably the biggest downside to always hiring new staff is the massive amount of time and effort needed to continually train every new staff member. And this is probably one of the main reasons why many agents don't want to hire more staff, because of the dreaded constant training involved with hiring new people. I know I'm one of them. I've realized at some times that I don't want to hire because I don't want to train. It's just a beating.
You've actually said that before in a couple trainings. Which
Yes,
is, I think, what prompted the official launch of the process of
that's
starting a agency
that's
training.
right. But well, you know me, Shelly. I'm like you. We don't beat around the bush. I'm going to tell it to you straight,
Absolutely.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with hiring 3 to 5 new staff and employees every new year, that's a lot of training. It's a lot of time and effort to train. And of course, the training process and the training time and effort repeats over and over again with every new team member. And I got sick of saying the same things and training the same concepts over and over again. Like I said, it can be a downright beating. So I got so tired of training, I realized it wasn't an efficient use of my time. So to solve this repetitive problem, my first thought was to find an online type of training course that could effectively train my new staff members, or at the very least, train the basics of insurance and the basics of the agency process. So even myself and an agent with my size was looking for an adequate training course to train my own staff. So I looked around and I tried to find a training course that could help me, that could train even the basics of insurance, the basic policy coverages, marketing, how to make marketing calls, what to say, how to speak on the phone, how to use or fill out a quote sheet. And I thought maybe I could even find a training system to train the hardest position to train within the agency, which is sales. I would have happily paid for a training course that would train my new staff to be at least halfway trained with the basics. And I could pick it up from there to train the harder, more detailed training, such as tonality, rapport, and the techniques of sales. But in my search for this mystical unicorn training course, I couldn't find anything. or I should say that I couldn't find any training system that was even remotely good, much less on the elite level. Every training course I came across was either not helpful, not engaging enough, or detailed enough to be useful. And many courses were either vague or full of common sense, and other courses were boring and super disengaging. And what was super frustrating is that I thought for sure that there would be some training system out there that would have elite level training. What's worse is that I later found out that many of these agents or people who created these unengaging, unhelpful courses are not even agents, or some of these agents are brand new agents, or they were an agent once upon a time, but who are not currently up to speed on the current technology and challenges within the industry. And many of the agents who are currently agents are certainly not elite agents, meaning their production is near the bottom of their company's production reports. And they're not even within the top 10% of producing agencies. So realizing that I had no good available training course options, and realizing that there probably would never be a decently viable training course to match my own elite standards, I really had no other choice. I had no other option but to create an elite level training system like this system. But then I thought, I cannot be the only agent with this problem. I thought, I'm sure there are many other agents and staff who could benefit from an elite level training course. And that's partly why I decided to create this course, an elite training course that will not only train my own staff, but other agents and their staff as well. And to give other insurance professionals everything they need to succeed in the business of insurance on the elite level. And this will also help provide training from a current and active agent with over 10 years of business experience with staffing, sales, trial and error, and who knows the current inner workings of the business. Training from an agent with 4 or 5 president's councils and 9 or 10 toppers clubs.
Yep.
Okay.
Who's counting? No.
I mean, I'm just saying.
No, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right, that's the first main reason. The second main reason I created this course was to better train agents who have come to me for help and mentorship. And this is not to sound arrogant or egotistical. And for the agents who know me, they know that's not the case. At least I hope so. But I've had many agents come to me and ask me for advice to how to help build and grow their agencies and increase their agency operations, staff, revenue, etc. And I try to help them as much as I can. And I give them as much of my time as I can give, but I don't have much time. And I can't give them the time that I like to give them without taking too much time away from my other businesses, my family, my tiny bit of free time that I get to myself, etc. So I thought, how can I give my time without sacrificing too much of my other time? How can I make it a win-win and a way for me to give my time to all agents and staff who want and need it, and for them to be able to access it at any time? The answer, of course, is an online, on-demand training system where I've unloaded and downloaded my entire business brain and listed out everything that I know about the business, everything that I do and how I do it, and lay it all out for people to consume and replicate what I've done into their own agency. It took me over a year, and it took me an estimated 1,200 plus hours to develop this training course, this training system. We spared no expense, and we get into the fine details of every topic. It really is the best of all worlds, and this training system allows me to achieve my goal to better train agents who have come to me for help and mentorship, and to also train their staff.
Brian, I don't think people are going to really understand what you mean by how much detail is in this training until they see it for themselves. Seriously, because I mean, I was scrolling for so long in our demo that we did for a couple weeks ago, and oh my goodness, there's so much content, great videos. It really goes into the why. I think that's also important to explain to your staff members so they understand why they're doing this type of training. This is literally coming from your brain. We've had many times where we've had you speak. You've been asked to speak at conferences with other districts. If you've heard Brian speak before, it's very consistent. Processes, systems, all of these things are proven. Okay. You have to understand that. That's why it's so exciting for me to have something like this that's real and something that agents can start implementing with their team immediately. So, yeah, it's extremely detailed.
Yeah.
And I really have to emphasize that. I have to.
Well, yeah, you're right. And at times I've thought, is this too detailed? But the saying that we use, we'd rather have it, not need it, than need it, not have it.
100%.
And it really goes into why. Here's an example.
Mhm.
I was telling you this earlier that I trained one of my staff, my marketing staff members, on how to do all the quote sheet, how to fill out the quote sheet, what questions to ask, how to navigate through it. And so he understood how to do it. But then when I finished this training course, I had him watch the training. And after
Mm,
the course, he said, I get it now. I understand why. He's like, I knew how to do it, but I never understood why we ask it in this way and why we follow this certain flow and why we do this and why we do that. And I can already tell he is grasping more of it and he's doing a much better job because they understand why. Not to mention it trained more the details of what to say, what not to say, how to say it, how to talk on the phone, what tone to use, what not to say, all the details of it.
yeah,
The devil's in the details, right? The
absolutely.
fortune. The fortune is in the details.
Well,
So,
yeah, of course. Because to tie that all back in, this platform is to help you make money. This is literally the secret sauce to help your staff get on the right foot, to begin generating revenue in the agency, for your current staff to get to the next level and continue to generate revenue for your agency, and for you as the agent to do those things as well. But also, you have a whole separate agent mindset coaching training with it? I mean, it's the same training. It's not two separate. I got that question, is it two separate platforms? You have to pay for the other one? No, this is the
no,
training.
it's included. And we'll get into what it is here in a minute, but we're gonna we're gonna add. I don't even know. I talk about this in the training. You don't know what you don't know. I don't know what I know. What is it? Uh, you know what you know, but you don't know what you don't know. So we're gonna add some things to this that are gonna come down, and I'm gonna get feedback and ideas to add more, not just more content, but more ways to train, more ways to help agents and staff learn and grow. So that's going to come down the pipeline. Okay, so we've talked about why. We'll talk more about why here in a minute, but let's transition into what it is. What is elite agency training? So as mentioned, it's an online on-demand training course and training system that will train agents and their staff, and it'll train them to the elite level. And elite level meaning there is no other course like this course, because this course will tell you and your staff things that no one else will tell you. And this course will train on topics that no other course will train on. Think of this training system as a course in which everything that an established elite agent knows and uses, and the knowledge and experience that I've accumulated over a decade, is handed to you and your staff on a silver platter. And it's all available to you and your team at your fingertips, on your screen, on demand, at any time from anywhere. We could literally take someone off the streets, hand them this training, and I almost guarantee they will succeed if they implement and use the training within. There are two main course levels in the training course: the agent level course and the staff level course. And by the way, both courses are included, like you just said, Shelly. So both levels are included in the training. I had an agent ask me, so which one do I get? Do I get the agent or the staff? I was like, no, they're both included in it. So I want to make sure that's known and understood. Um, and we separated it out into two different, because obviously staff don't need to take training on the business level, business mindset, staffing, certain marketing, ROI tactics, things like that, departmentalization. The agent level course will train the agent or the agency owner on business level concepts such as mindset, structure, departmentalization, staffing, marketing, and so on. The staff level course will train agency staff and the agent. So the agent will need to take both courses, or they can take both courses or parts of either course. They can benefit from both sides. But the staff level course will train on the inner workings of the agency, such as marketing. And this is something I explain in the departmentalization training, is that many agencies will separate sales from service, but they don't separate sales from marketing. They just have their sales staff generate leads, build quotes, and sell. That is not the most efficient way to run the business. And I train on how to split that up and make it more of an assembly line so that everything is super efficient and flows like you would not believe. It's fantastic. But it trains on marketing. So how to ask questions to get information to build a quote. Marketing scripts. We have calling scripts, including inbound and outbound call scripts. It comes with a digital quote sheet that you can download and use. Digital, so no paper. You can fill it in on the screen. And I train you and your staff how to use it. It trains on how to talk on the phone and how to navigate basic lead management systems of DYL and Agency Zoom. The staff training section also will train extensively on sales, including the crucial, here's something that sales training usually includes. It includes a script, and that's it. Most of the training I looked into, if not all of it, just had scripts. It's just like what to say. That's good. That's one part of it, but that's just a small part of it. We're missing how to say it. How you say things are far more important than what you say. You could say the word no 10 different ways and it means 10 different things. There's such a deeper psychology in sales. And I wish it wasn't that complicated, but it is. I mean, we can try to simplify it, but if you
Yeah.
really want to succeed in sales, you have to learn how to say things with rapport, tonality, attitude, etc. So we train on mindset, tonality, rapport, techniques, and attitude. The training will provide a digital sales script that is proven to close almost anyone who is closable. And it's a digital sales script, so it's not paper. It's not a PDF. It's somewhat interactive so that we can click on certain topics, auto, home, objections, and you can search within the digital script. You can search the objection. You can easily find what to say in the script. Super useful. But yeah, we cover in detail how to use and how to say the sales script. The sales script, as I mentioned, also includes objection handling, how to overcome objections we often get while on the sales call and during closing. The training system also covers how to follow up. Many sales just focus on closing on the first call close. And that's the right mindset. I agree with those trainings, those systems, and those scripts. We should always try to close on the first call. We should ABC every call, always be closing. That's just one part of it. But part of the problem is I've never seen any training on how to follow up. And you would think it would be simple, just follow up, right? Just make calls. No, there's a deep psychology in how to follow up, when to follow up, what to say when following up, and more importantly, what not to say when following up.
Yes. And honestly, for those things alone, this platform is worth it. just for that little piece on how to market. It's so cool how it just is compounding with all different roles. It is so all inclusive, A to Z almost of everything that you could possibly need to know foundationally. You can add your own tweaks to it for what makes sense for your agency.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Shelly, have you ever heard the phrase, the fortune is in the follow-up?
Oh, absolutely. Especially in insurance. Absolutely. Yes.
But I've never heard, I rarely hear of any follow-up and how to follow up. Let me give you a quick story of a personal story. I'm recently trying to remodel a room in my house because it's terrible and it's just almost useless. So I contacted three contractors to come and give me a quote on it. Okay. And stay with me, there's a point.
Oh, yikes. That's
The
not good.
the the third contractor didn't really work out. They didn't really get back to me. Something just didn't work. The first contractor came out, good rapport, great. I liked the guy, just connected. And he said he would get back to me with a more concrete estimate. Never heard from him. I still haven't heard from him. Okay.
To this day.
Yeah. The second guy, we didn't connect as much. I did like him. It wasn't as warm. There wasn't as much rapport. I didn't think he had as much experience. He had experience, but not as much as the first guy. Okay. Well, he was going to get me a more concrete estimate or follow up. He has followed up with me 2 or 3 times now. And I am about to go with him because he followed up.
Yep.
Because I know what kind of person he is now that he's followed up. It shows persistence, consistency, and discipline. It makes a difference. Follow up and what to say. And the way he followed with me was perfect. It's actually coincidentally and strangely what I teach. He's like, man,
I love it.
what training system do you have? He laughed. But this training system will put those two contractors together. We'll train on how to build that deep subconscious rapport with people, and we train on how to follow up. Let's move on. The sales training section also covers various contact methods to use when contacting and following up with prospects. And the training includes a suggested or an example call cadence. And the sales section also trains sales staff on how to effectively utilize common lead management systems to organize their leads and prospects and to not let any leads go unworked or fall through the cracks. And this is something that every insurance agent or agency constantly deals with, which is sales staff not properly working or following up with leads that have been assigned to those sales staff. Okay? This training system will train on how to prevent this. And the lead management systems we use and train on in this course are DYL and Agency Zoom. So we train on either using DYL only or Agency Zoom only, or using both systems combined and together and in tandem together, which is what we do in my agency. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying we offer training on using either one of those separately or together.
Love it.
But the first and most important concept we train in the sales section, and the concepts, like I've said, that I've never seen any dedicated training for, are the sales concepts of mindset, tonality, rapport, techniques, and attitude. And it's very hard to train these mindset concepts because it's all in the mind. It's easy to train someone how to flip a burger or how to email an ID card. But to train sales mindset, to get into someone's brain and make changes in their brain circuitry, is the hardest thing to train within the agency. We can't just plug into someone's brain and upload sales mindset and training like the Matrix.
You
Which
tried.
would that'd be nice, right? That'd be
You
awesome,
tried, yeah.
right? But this training system will train staff and sales staff on these difficult to train mindset concepts. Back to the training section, the staff training section. The staff training section will also train on the basics of insurance with general coverage training. And this is mainly for brand new staff with no insurance background, or it can be for any staff who need a refresher on the general coverage. I mean, we all know that one staff member who we know needs to revisit some general coverage training, right? But that's what's all included in the training system. And I believe we currently, keyword currently, have around 70 training videos in the agent owner course, and we have around 130 training videos in the agent staff, the staff level course. And currently meaning it's February of 2024 of this recording. So, and I say currently because, like I said earlier, we will likely always update and add to the training material. For example, we're working on adding a life training section, hopefully coming up pretty soon. So we'll continue to add as time goes on.
So excited.
Yeah. Before, do we have any questions?
Any questions? No, but I will say, I do work with a lot of agency owners, and you are correct. They are looking for an elite platform, something that does cover everything. And there are so many great platforms that are available in their own right. And this is just a little bit different in a lot of ways, a lot more inclusive, and definitely something to consider if growth and generating more revenue is in your cards for this year and something you plan to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Before we talk about course price, I want to talk about a possible elephant in the room. Shelly, you know where I'm going with this.
100%, yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to talk about it because I don't care. I'll talk about anything. Some agents might be thinking, oh, here we go again. Here's another agent selling some kind of training course or some kind of leads marketing or selling whatever to other agents. And I know this is the mentality of certain agents out there because I'm one of them. I've had these same thoughts myself when agents are selling something. And for that reason alone, I was very hesitant to build and create anything that could be offered or sold to other agents. I didn't want to be that agent. So I get it. Okay. I'm not oblivious to that. But here's the catch. And here's what I realized. From what I explained earlier about not being able to find a decent training system to train my own staff, I was going to create and build a training course anyways. And I came to the realization that many other agents are probably in the same boat. Other agents very likely need an adequate training system to train their staff and train every new sales staff or staff member in general the same way every time with elite level training and without the agent feeling like they're going to go insane by training and repeating themselves over and over again. Here's the other catch. Here's the other realization that I had from what I explained earlier. I realized that other agents were coming to me for help, advice, and mentorship. And I had no efficient nor effective way to mentor them with detailed level of training that they needed because of my own limited time and resources. With all of my businesses, I barely have time for anything, okay? But I realized that if I created a detailed on-demand training course that I could give agents and their staff everything they need to know and all the training they could consume at any time from anywhere. Okay, and as cheesy as this may sound, as cliche as this sounds, I felt a strong calling. I felt a need to develop this training system. Partly because I've been an agent now for 11 years and I've built a relatively substantial agency and business. And I feel a calling to help other agents do the same, right? And when I first started and I heard other tenured 10, 15, 20-year agents say this, that they wanted to help other agents and wanted to train, wanted to mentor, I was like, what? Why? What BS? They don't want to do that. But I get it now. There's fulfillment and lots of gratification, fulfillment, and training. I also realized that even I had a mentor when I first started. And I realized that many agents don't have a mentor or don't even have access to a mentor. So this training system is one way to help mentor those agents. But even my own mentor also had limited time to help me and limited time to train me. And I would have loved to have more time and more detailed training from that agent, from my mentor. But here's another catch. No one would even consider asking their mentor to train them and their staff. Think about asking a mentor, hey, can you also go ahead and train my staff as well for me, please? Yeah, I'm going to go to lunch. So go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and train my staff for me. That'd be great. Okay.
Yeah.
This training system is like your own personal digital mentor to whom you and your staff have access at any time. And this course will continuously train your current staff and all future staff you hire in the future into your agency. The price of the course is $297 per month. So $297 a month. Instead of us charging $4,000 or $5,000 or even $6,000 for the entire training system, which this system and the training within this course can easily return agents 100 to 1,000 times the $4,000 to $6,000 over the years with increased sales, income, revenue, bonus, and equity. But instead of charging 4 to 6 grand, we thought it would be better and more feasible for agents to handle $297 a month. And because this will provide constant ongoing training for agents, staff, and future staff. And we also made it monthly because I also realized that training is not something you do just once. Training is an ongoing activity, especially with always hiring new staff members. And like I said, we'll update and add to the training system as time goes on and as things change. And with the monthly rate, there's also less risk for the agent. Because if any agent doesn't like my training style or if they incorrectly disagree with the training content, then they've paid a couple of months instead of paying $4,000 to $6,000. So it's a win-win option and solution for everyone. It's a no-brainer. But regarding price, think about this. If this training system can help you and your agency sell just one more household sale per month, which it'll help agencies sell way more than that. But if this system helps you and your staff sell just one more household sale per month, it will have paid for itself. It will have paid for the entire training system after 1 year, the first year, and in perpetuity, of course, because of the renewals of those extra sales. But if agents and staff take this seriously, and if they actually implement and use the training systems and processes in this course, they will certainly sell way more than just one extra household sale per month. And here's the ultimate question that agents need to be asking themselves. What is the cost of not investing in an elite level training course to train agents on elite business concepts and to train their staff on elite job-specific skills, such as marketing and sales? How much money would agents lose over time by not implementing elite training systems, processes, structure, mindset, and so on? The opportunity cost of not investing in the right training can be astronomical, and it's painful to even think about. It's painful to think about not making the money we could be making. And that was one of my own personal motivators as I was building the agency. And it still is. But I was always mindful and almost afraid of not making the money that I could be making and of missing out on making money. But if agents invest in this course and if agents and staff actually implement and use the training systems with them, Agents can undoubtedly return 100-fold or even 1,000 times or more return on their money over time with all revenue, income, profits, bonuses, and the equity that agents can build within their business. It's a no-brainer. It's such a no-brainer that agents will now have to convince themselves not to get this training system. And,
Totally.
and as arrogant as this next statement will probably sound, I must truthfully say that I wish I had a course like this course when I first started my agency over 10 years ago. I would have gladly paid, I would have gladly invested a lot of money to know back then what I know now. I would have loved to have this course long before I created this course to train myself and train all my new staff members over the years. Well, that's like the Back to the Future, right? Goes back
Totally.
in time and gives himself the almanac book. But
Yeah, would it be what it is today, Brian? I mean,
uh,
all that experience, all this time. I mean,
there's
this
there's
training
the
is
there's the
your brain,
paradox,
you
right?
know?
The training paradox. But
Absolutely.
the point is, even now, as an 11-year agent with a $12 million premium book of business, I would still invest in a training course like this course to continuously train my existing staff and, of course, train all of my new staff whom I will inevitably and continuously have to hire over the coming years to maintain this level of production and grow. Again, it's a no-brainer. Questions to this point?
I mean, I'm ready to talk about some of the cool things that you have going on, but I think another probably burning question for some agents who don't already have a training platform is like, okay, so you mentioned how many videos? There's lots of videos, lots of content built into this platform, but how do you get started? What does
Started.
that look like?
Okay.
Agent for the
Very,
staff member?
very simple. So to get started, go to the website eliteagencytraining.com, eliteagencytraining.com. And you can go, there's plenty of links, make me elite, start my training. It's all over the place. So made it easy for you to find and sign up. You can sign up directly from the website. From there, it will log you into the training system. And you can log into the training from in the future from the website. So training login. But when you log in, when you get set up, the 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 next obstacle for many agents and staff is to get started and continue the training and complete the training. Right? I can lead a horse to water, right?
Right.
I can give you the keys to the kingdom, but I can't make you walk inside.
Mhm.
I can give you everything I have and know and use on a silver platter, but I can't make you take it. So you gotta do it. And it's not hard. You, at the very least, just watch the training videos, take mental notes, and then make the changes and applications in your agency, in the training, in what you do. Eh,
What's a good time allocation every day? What do you think makes sense for agency owners to start with?
Great
To get
question.
consistent?
Great question. Personally, I
Mhm.
like to do it in my car. Personally, I have a round trip 45-minute commute every day. So 45 minutes a day, I'm listening to something, some type of training. So
Mhm.
you can knock out however your commute is every day in your car. But if you don't, if you live 5 minutes from the office, then you got to make time. Just carve out some time, either 30 minutes or an hour, either at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, during lunch, whatever you have to do to get it done. You
What
got,
about for a new hire?
oh, new hire, I mean, you can sit them
All
in,
the
yeah, all day long, right? We just hired a new staff member, and they've been doing the training for the past week.
Yeah.
And I pulled him into my office. I was like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna see what this training does. And this is a marketer.
Love it.
and he pulled up the quote sheet, and he was about 75% knowledge trained up already. I had to remind him about a couple of things, but uh, I, I'm not I'm not going to say this is going to train them up to 100%. Nothing will. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. But this system will train your staff. The whole concept, the whole point is to train you and your staff up to 70, 75, 80% of functional working capacity. And you can fine tune as time goes on, or maybe the elite agency training staff and myself can help fine tune as time goes on, especially the sales staff.
Mhm.
So we're going to find ways to help agents and agency owners to train the agent themselves and train their staff. It's the whole point of this system. Good question.
Brian, you know what's so cool to me is I think the amount of time when agents really think about it, the amount of time that they're going to save from having to do the trainings. And maybe you're a top sales producer in your own agency. Oh, I have a lot of agents that are, and I think that's great, along with their sales staff. They love to sell. You can continue doing that, generating revenue. You don't have to do the foundational trainings. You don't have to really think too much about your onboarding system. It's a huge part of it for the foundational things, for the detailed things as well, depending on their job role. And then you add in your own training, whatever platforms you may use. You may want to add some additional things into their, first month or so of their full onboarding process and training. But my goodness, does this save you a lot of time and a lot of pieces? And for that reason, $300 a month. I mean, that's pretty, my time is, worth something.
You are spot on. You hit the nail on the head. Someone
All I
told
can
me,
think about is the time and the money and like how much is your time worth as an agent,
yeah, absolutely. I assume you watched that training video?
Of
Maybe not
course.
yet. Okay. But
We're just on the same page, Brian.
no, you're right. Oh, you've heard me talk before. I preach this
Yeah,
all the time, right?
yeah,
The
totally.
the 2000 rule. You remember that?
Mhm.
I teach in this training how to value your time, how to view your time. And the example I use in the training is that we calculated that in one example, hypothetical example, an agent's time is worth $75 an hour. Okay. So the point is, why would you do anything else, any other work that is below $75 an hour work? Okay. But Shelly, part of your point is if your time is worth $75 an hour, you're gonna so 75 at 297, so 300, so 70, that's 4 hours. 4 hours of your time at $75 an hour. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it would take you way longer than 4 hours to do any of these
Oh
trainings
my
for
gosh.
each
Yes.
person too,
You would spend 4 hours the first day training a new staff
a
member.
100%.
I mean, there's
And
80.
you'd have to create the training for yourself. You'd have to make
Yes. Yes.
training. Yeah.
There's 80 videos just in the sales training. I mean, that's call it a oh, I gotta do the math here. Hang on. I gotta do it. That's killing me. So we're at
Just
80
don't ask me.
times 12 minutes, the average of 12 minutes each, 960 divided by 60. That's 16 hours just in the sales training. And that's just sales. There's 10 other sections. But yes, your time is freed up. And there's somebody that I'm not going to name names, but Shelly, you know this person. Somebody told me they said 297. You probably need to charge way more than that.
Yeah, 100%.
I was like,
100%.
I said, I know. And I was telling them, I was thinking about 4, 5, $6,000.
Mhm.
Said, I'd just rather make it feasible for and more long term and consistent and training for current and future staff. So that was the whole
I
point.
think so. It has to be consistent for you. It's the only thing that makes sense. And the cool thing is you can always go back. You can always use it as a training opportunity in your agency to go back over a certain topic. If you're listening to calls back from your staff and you notice that you need to probably address something, here's your perfect opportunity to kind of blend that training in, really re-emphasize that because you have the whole content library there already. You don't really have to reinvent the wheel too much there.
Yeah, perfect, Shelly. Perfect. Because do you, here's what I do. I listen to my sales staff and they're always missing one piece, right? Or they'll drop another piece. They'll pick up on it. They're always missing one piece. And I say, hey, go back and watch that video. Spend
Mhm.
12 minutes and watch that video. And they're refreshed and they get it. And now the next call, they've got it. And then they drop another piece and I have to remind them of another piece. But it's as we said, training is not something you do just once. It's continuous. This might be good to have this training once a month or once a quarter. Sales staff hit this training once a month, or at the very least once a quarter.
And for the agency owner too, if you need a mindset refresher, if you need someone that's going to tell you like it is, tell you straight, who's also working on scaling and growing and building their agency, just the mindset course alone is worth the money because I work with a lot of agents and there are a lot of people that do similar things to me across in our company, and sometimes they don't want to hear it from me. They don't want to hear it from me directly. They're like, girl, you haven't been doing this for a while. So, it's okay. Some listen, some don't. But to have it proven, really you saying it, you're really talking to the agents. You're actually talking to yourself too. You built this platform for you, for your agency, and you were just nice enough to share it with the rest of us. So thanks,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, and mind, you're right. Mindset is the key. Mindset seems cheesy, and many
Mhm.
agents would be like, "Oh, I don't need mindset training and whatever." That's probably skip over it. But
Oh,
I go ahead.
I have to even tell you, just in 2024, I'm so serious. I've told every single agency this because I truly believe it, especially in 2024. You cannot have one person in the office doing everything. You simply cannot have one person doing everything. It is impossible for a service person right now to listen all day long to people complaining, some negative things. They're working to find solutions, but then also expecting them to sell new business. I mean, how can both things be true? We're raising rates here, but we're more competitive here. It's so hard to do, especially in today's market. Like this year, you can't have one person doing all of it. Departmentalization is literally the key. And the fact that you have the training for all of it and more is coming too, as time goes on for other roles and other, types of product marketing and kind of focusing there, it's just such a perfect continuous training opportunity. It really, really is. So the departmentalization for any agency, uh, I work with all kinds. Okay, everybody needs to departmentalize this year. It's the only way that you're going to be able to stay sane and make money and grow and do what you need to do to retain, grow, market, and have all the processes. The only
Spot
way. It's the only way.
You are spot on. And I've trained, you know me, I've trained this from day one.
Yes.
I've done this from day one. And I can say, I will say, if I didn't departmentalize my agency into how I train it, how I detail and lay it all out in the system,
Mhm.
we would not be talking right now. There are many pieces to the puzzle, right? But departmentalization is a huge one. The different departments, different roles, different job skills, different ways to train, different compensation. Everyone is different. You try to get someone to do all jobs, it,
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense.
No.
I've had agents say, well, yeah, we have everybody do everything. And I explain the departmentalization, and most of them agree. And some of the agents that say, oh no, we're just gonna continue to do what we're doing. Fine. I can't help you.
Mhm.
I almost won't help you. I almost refuse to because it's just not, you're going to spin your wheels. It's just not the way to do it.
Well, it's like if you're doing all things, how can you get all of it done? Like it simply cannot. You have to have one person, one department focusing on one goal. They have their processes, they know what they need to do. And then everybody in the office working together in their own departments, and it just is seamless.
Yeah,
It has
absolutely.
to go. Yeah, it has to. It is so chaotic in your agency if that's not the case. And I know that because I work with a lot of agents. And I talk to a lot of agents. And truly, departmentalization is the only way. It really is. And to also kind of put this part in a bow, I've listened to Brian talk for years. I know every single thing that he is going to say in a training because he's always said it. It's always the same. We've had many new agents, come in and listen to Brian, tenured agents listen to Brian, and foundationally it's all the same mindset, everything that you say. And so when I got the preview of the platform and listened to it for myself, I'm like, yeah, this is what he was talking about. This is what he's been saying. This is what he said 6 years ago, right? But it's in more detail, so much detail, all the detail, really, because you use it too to train your staff. So why would you leave anything out? It's really laid out for everybody. And I think the most important thing is the why and the explaining of it. So you have to watch them in order. You have to get the full understanding of the training platform. There's so much good content you're going to want to skip around, but don't,
Absolutely.
don't skip
And
around. Trust the process.
that's right. Shelly's right on. And yeah, Shelly's heard me speak probably too many times.
No, you're consistent. That's my favorite part. I know it's a proven system. I can see your numbers. I know what's going on, right? Like it's a proven system.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, here's another point is last year, 2023, I spent the majority of my time creating this course. We're on track to hit President's Council for 2023. So, not to pat myself on the back, but I
You should.
am. But the point is that I was able to step aside and let the systems and processes and the departmentalization work on its own without me having to be here all day, every day. Someone asked me early on, early in my career, and I was hitting some good numbers. I was one of the top in the state at the time, and they said, "Hey, Brian, what's your ultimate goal? What's your ultimate number? You know, how many PIF or how much book a premium or whatever it is?" And I never really thought about that. I told this agent, I said, that's really not the goal. That's not the mindset. My mindset, my goal is to create a machine that runs itself to where if the wife and I want to go backpacking through Europe for 4 weeks, we can do so, and the machine is still pumping and producing at the same level. That is the dream. That's the goal. And that's what can happen with systems and processes and departmentalization and everything that I teach in this course. I'm not joking when I said everything that I know, do, and use is in this course.
Even your recruiting processes and what you look for and your interviews. I mean, all the staffing things. I mean, of course, you can say that looking now, you have a great team built, everything's running smoothly, but some agents don't have that yet. And they don't know yet, but it's in here. It's the process of finding staff, how to compensate them. Obviously, the departmentalization is so important, but all of that is in here. It's exactly all the tools that you need. I wish I could just like Oprah it right now. Like you get the platform, you get it too. Like everyone needs this platform. It's not, it may be overwhelming at first because there is so much information, but that's why the process is important, starting it where you need to and following the
Absolutely.
course.
Yeah. And I
But
want to I want to mention this. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
if any agent has questions or if they're struggling with something right now that's just holding them back, call me, call my office. By the way, it's not just me in the office. I'm not on an island alone. I've invested. I'm not going to talk about the money I've already invested in this training system, but I've invested in staff already in systems to where you call in, we'll answer, we'll help you. They know the training already. They'll help you navigate you to where you need to go, which training to watch, and help you in that regard. If you have any issues with systems and navigation, logging in, adding staff, whatever it is, you call us, we're going to help you. That's the whole point of this system. Uh, I lost my
But
train of thought what I was talking about.
no, I want to take it a step further.
Okay.
Because this is honestly my favorite part. So I can hear some of the questions now. It's like, okay, well, you can kind of figure out how you want to do your own onboarding, right? As an agent, if you want to allocate an hour, 2 hours a day, however you decide to do the onboarding for yourself, that's super important. I think sometimes agents get concerned that they're going to invest into a platform, but their staff are not going to actually complete it. So they're going to encourage it, they're going to talk about it, but maybe the agents are a little bit nervous to hold their staff accountable to do it, which is the only way, obviously, to get the results, by the way, and make all that money back, which you will.
Yes. Right.
So, one of my favorite things that we've talked about, Brian, offline, is the accountability department and the opportunity to have someone on the elite agency training team to literally call your people out if they need to, hold them accountable, and remind them that the agent has invested in the platform, that they have not, they're on track for, whatever it is of milestone learning they need to do. But really holding them accountable and copying the agent on emails, really involving them in the communication. So the training gets done. They know that people are looking other than their agent. And there's some kind of support there as well to help them kind of get through the rest of the training.
Absolutely. And what y'all don't know is that Shelly and I talked about this, and I decided to do this. What was it, like an hour ago? No, but but it was
I didn't know if you were gonna say.
yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah,
we
it's so good.
I had this in the back of my mind. I was like, there's
Mhm.
got to be something that I have to do to make agents and staff take and complete the course. And an accountability department is what I'm going to do. I just decided pretty much right now that I am going to do this with a staff member dedicated to accountability, to go through the system, to go through reports of the agent and the staff, and we're going to hold everyone accountable.
Mhm.
Even the agent. I'm going to instruct my staff or even myself if I have to call the agent and say, hey, you haven't done anything. You haven't taken any training in the past 3 weeks. What are you doing?
Mhm.
Same for the staff, right? We're gonna call the staff and or email the staff directly, copy the agent, and say, Johnny boy, your agent is investing in this training system and investing in you. You haven't done anything on this course. You need to take this course. Dedicate some time. Do it. Because here's the point. I am not here to waste anyone's money or waste anyone's time. If I have to, if an agent hasn't touched the course in months, I'm going to call that agent up. And if they don't get on the course or don't do something with it, I may pull the plug. I may cancel their account for them because I'm not here to just take their money or waste their money.
Mhm.
Now, I understand that agents may get back on board after a month or go on vacation for a month or whatever the case may be. My point is there has to be some accountability. And if it has to be on the elite agency training business side of things, then so be it. Maybe that's something that this course will have over any other course and anything out there is the accountability to train. Because back to the main point, if one thing in this course, just one thing increases your agency's production, revenue, income, bonus, whatever it may be, equity, then it's worth it. It's worth it. There will be many more than just one thing. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
There's there's hundreds of golden nuggets in there.
Yes.
But
And funny moments and things you're gonna be like, wait, did he just say that? It's so that's all I'm gonna leave you
I'm not gonna call you on what it was, but I got a text from Shelly one night just laughing.
with.
And I knew exactly what she was talking about.
It's so good. And I've had agents that have already signed up that have said the same thing. They're
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's so funny. I'm like, I know. I know.
I was talking to an agent that just got on the course and she said, I love your sarcasm.
It's my fave. Well, insurance is so boring.
Oh
Sorry.
my God.
It is so boring to talk about. No one likes talking about insurance. but you can make it fun. And especially when you really get into the sales techniques and how to talk to people and what to say, it's like an art. It's so different. You know, you're not just talking insurance, you're building rapport, you're talking to people, you're helping them. It's just so much
Uh,
more than the boring insurance part.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's fun. It's a challenge. And we train in the sales training, and we train on a concept that I just heard in an audio book this morning while at the gym from Alex Hormozy. Many of y'all know him as a good YouTuber, but
Yeah.
he said, make people an offer so good they'd feel stupid saying no. That's what we do. That's what we
You do so
train.
good at that.
Yes, because we build
Yeah.
our case and we make our tonality and rapport make it to where it's a no-brainer, and we close and assume the sale, and it's all a beautiful artistic piece of no-brainer work there. It's fun. It's a challenge. It makes it fun. But back to your point is that I've seen many training systems that are painfully boring. Just someone talking, someone just talking, and or talking with somebody else in the room. And it's like, I personally, I like production. I like get me to the point, talk about the main points, don't meander, don't say, and just kind of sit there and then yada yada. It's just, it's disrespectful to my time and to the viewer's time. So we've put a lot of time and effort into production and editing and trying to make it engaging and funny, like you said. So I've had a
And
lot of
by
people.
the way, I
Mhm.
wouldn't just say that. I'm not that
What?
kind of- I don't just say like good things to make someone feel good. Okay, so I'm very honest. So
Let me tell y'all something about Shelly. That she's right there. She doesn't beat around the bush, and she'll tell you straight up what it is.
don't let the smell fool you. I'll tell you the truth. Which is why this is my favorite. I'm so excited to talk about elite agency training. It's seriously going to change the game for all of the agents that I work with that are signing up and are going to sign up in the future. It's going to help them make more money. I mean, that's literally my whole job, is to help agents make more money. So that's why I'm such an advocate of this. There is nothing like it. Nothing like it on the market.
You got
And
it.
the accountability department, are you kidding? That's so great. That's I'm so glad you added that.
Me too. I'm glad. I love it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's so final steps. Go to the website eliteagencytraining.com, and you can sign up from there. If you have any questions, you can call the number on the website. You can email me, Brian at eliteagencytraining.com, service@eliteagencytraining.com. What am I missing? Anything, Shelly, you can think of?
No, but stay tuned, you guys. There's so much more that's coming. You have no idea. This is just the beginning, and a great start, obviously, with how many hours worth of content that they can get started with before all the extra cool things come out. Brian, thank you so much for launching this platform for everybody. It's going to be a game changer. So let's go.
Shelly,
2024.
thank you for your time today. Thank you for your input. Thank you for being your bubbly self.
Always.
All right. Let's get to it. Let's get training. Let's make some money.
Go.
All right.
Bye, guys.